Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Patricia and I am a licensed mental health therapist. And today I wanted to talk to us about how to find a therapist and what to expect on your first appointment. I get asked a lot about, I really want to seek therapy, but I don't know where to begin. I don't know what to say. I get nervous and I don't even know how to find one. So today I'm just gonna share some tips about that and hoping that that will eliminate some of those barriers that are keeping you from seeking therapy. Okay, so first, when you are trying to find a therapist, I do need to just kind of define a little bit what a therapist is, because often people get therapists mixed up with psychiatrists, and there's a difference. Therapists typically are licensed clinicians that have had at least a master's degree, either in psychology, in social work, or counseling, and and then they do 3,000 hours or so to become licensed as a therapist. Now, psychiatrists, they are typically doctors, they are MDs, and they go to school. Mainly their training is focused on prescribing medications for your mental health. Whereas the therapists, we do more talk therapy, we do counseling. We there to help you with getting the tools and the skills to help you with your mental health issues. And sometimes as a therapist, we might refer you to a psychiatrist if we feel that you need additional help on top of the counseling part of it, okay? So I hope that kind of helps you better understand what the role of a therapist is versus a psychiatrist. So today we're talking about how to find a therapist. So once you've made up your mind that you want to find a therapist, my first question to you will be, if you have insurance. So if you have insurance, that's the best place to start. Most insurance now do provide mental health benefits. So all you'll need is to pay for your copay. So that will be the first place you start. You will call your insurance, that 1-800 number on the back of your card, and ask for a list of providers. And that they will give you list of in-network providers. Those are providers that are covered under your plan, under your insurance plan. So that usually is reduced cost. All you have to do is pay that copay. So you start with that. So they send you the list, and you can kind of filter even the list if you like. If you have a preference of a female therapist, or you want a male therapist, or you want a black therapist, or you want just Caucasian therapist, you can kind of filter, about whatever you like. So that's the first place that I would ask is, with your insurance company, if you have insurance. And now second, some companies do offer EAP benefits. So if you do with EAP, that's the Employer Assistance Program, and I did a video on that, so you can, and I'll link that below. But yeah, if you have EAP benefits, often your company will offer you a certain amount of free counseling sessions. And that's a great way to start, and that way you kind of get a feel of how you feel about therapy before you actually start paying for it. So you can start with that therapist under the EAP, use your free sessions, and if you like them and you want to continue, then at that point you start using your insurance benefits. So that's number two. That's one way to do it. Another place, if you don't have insurance but you're trying to find a therapist, you can look into Psychology Today, psychologytoday.com. That's one of probably the best therapy search area, where you'll have a great amount of therapists, and you can also specify there by specialty, gender, race, whatever you like. So psychologytoday.com is one place where you can try to find therapists, and also therapyforblackgirls.com. That's another great resource there to find therapists, and you can you put by location, and it's all across the United States. So you can just put in there what city you live in, and then it will tell you all the therapists that are in your area, and you can specify by insurance. If you have insurance, you can also use that on that website. Same thing for Psychology Today, and I'll put that information all below. Another place is openpathcollective.com, and what they do, they also provide sliding scale, which just means sliding scales means that they will have discounted price according to your income. So if you cannot afford therapy, you want to go, but you kind of feel like, I don't have the money, that's a great place, and you can also ask any therapist. A lot of us will offer sliding scale. So that's one word that you can ask when you're trying to find a therapist. Do you, if finances is an issue, you can say, hey, do you offer sliding scale? So openpathcollective.com is one area. Typically they'll try to keep the amount between $30 to $50 per, as your copay per session. So that's another place. Another area, if finances is an issue, is looking into university clinics. So that's another place, because those are students that are training to become therapists. They have the latest, clinical research. And so that's another great area to get mental health benefits. And there's also mental health community clinic, which would also offer, at a very discounted price, sometimes even free, according to your income level. So those are some of the areas on, how to find a therapist. Now, sometimes you have referral from a friend, or someone who had a really great experience with their therapist, and you would like to check them out, but they are not in your network, or they don't take. If they're not in your network, you can check and see if your insurance offers out-of-network benefits. And what that means is that if they have out-of-network benefits, then your insurance can reimburse you after you pay, and they will be able to reimburse you for the portion that you paid, or maybe a certain percentage of what you paid for. So that's something to look into, because I don't want you to get discouraged if you feel like you found a really great therapist who will be a great fit for you, but they're not under your network plan. So if you do have out-of-network benefits, you can look into that and see if you can get reimbursed. So I will just check. Typically what happens is that your therapist will give you a super bill, which is basically just the itemized receipts. It's a bill that you will submit to your insurance, and they will be able to reimburse you. So those are some of the options. There are more out there, but I don't want to bombard you. So these are some of the options on how to find a therapist. Now, what to expect once you call a therapist. A lot of us, we are seeing clients. So when you do call, they may not answer right away if they are in between sessions. So I would advise at least giving them 24 hours for them to give you a call back. And then you'll schedule that appointment. Typically on that first appointment, you'll fill out some intake paperwork. That's just to give us a little bit of background information, just like when you go to the doctor. So we collect that information, and once we start that first session, we're just gonna ask you about what's bringing you to therapy, what's been going on in your life for the past few months, just to get an idea. And don't be nervous on what to say or what not to say. We are trained to ask the right questions. So typically we'll start asking the questions. And then sometimes, a lot of the times, when you do come there and we ask you, what's bringing you to therapy, often what I find with my clients is like they'll start talking, and then there's just cry. I've been going through all this. So these kind of things totally are normal. It's part of the process, especially if you've been suppressing so much and haven't had a place where you can just be free to express your emotions. So that's something that is very common, where you come to that first session and you spend like the first 15 minutes just crying. I did that with my first therapy appointment with my therapist. I probably cried the first 15 minutes, and then we started talking, but it was just very liberating. It was just, I needed to get it out, and that's totally fine. We are not going to judge you for crying. That is a safe place for you to express your emotions. And that person has, most of the time, the therapy sessions are about 45 minutes to 50 minutes. So you have almost an hour just dedicated for you to just work on you, for you to work on your emotions, to get yourself in that right place, so that you can go back and give to the people in your life. So I definitely recommend therapy. If I could, I would pay for everybody to have a therapist, because I feel that it's a great investment to your health, and often that part of our life is so neglected. People, we do so much, we try to do all these other things, but we neglect our brain, our mind, which is really if not the most important part of you, you know, how your sanity, your mental health. So definitely check it out. I'll probably would do another video on how to recognize when you are ready, or when you need a therapist. Sometimes people are kind of in denial, but I feel that anyone could benefit from it, whether you have a serious issue going on in your life or not, or sometimes just having someone else that kind of help guide you through life, help guide you with just, you know, all the decisions and all the people that pull from you. You have a place where someone else is helping you. Also, you know, just kind of giving you the techniques and the tools and just those, you know, tools to help you with life. So that's, you know, some of the benefits of therapy. Something else that I would also share with you is that therapy takes work. So when you do go to therapy, don't just expect that, you know, your problems are gonna stop overnight, that you'll get a solution. No, most of the time when you're coming, if you have had an issue, you've been dealing with this issue for months, if not probably all your life, and so it's gonna take time to start relearning new tools, new ways of coping with issues, reframing your thoughts and your mind. All of that takes time, and therefore it will take work on your part as your therapist is guiding you. Some therapists use homework assignments, you know, just to reinforce what you've talked about in therapy. So that could be something you ask when you do make that call to the therapist. And I ask them, you know, what is your style? What kind of technique do you use? What type of modalities, which is just another word really for techniques that they use. So I hope this information helps you find a therapist that is a right fit for you. And, you know, don't get discouraged if the first one you feel like, hey, it didn't click. Sometimes it takes 2 to 3 therapists before you find the one that's right for you. So don't get discouraged, but do go get that investment on your mental health. And I promise you, you won't regret it. It will be completely worth it. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, thumbs up, and pray for us. Thank you.